Welcome to Wonder Woman Wednesdays. Did you know that's what it's called, Jen? It's Wonder Woman. You're a Wonder Woman.
Thank you. Now I know that's what it's called.
That's right. This is Jenn Widney. Jen is a super spectacular human being. And I have had the pleasure of knowing Jen for like 10 years or something. We used to work together in the housing industry, and that's where we met. And we've just kind of been in the same area of work, I don't know, something for a very long time, which is really neat. And we've just recently, over the past year, reconnected. Jen actually spoke at one of my events this past fall at Life by Design Live in Invermere. And she talked about the fundamentals of money, which can be a very hot topic. So, Jen, tell us a little bit about what you have going on with financial fundamentals.
It's been an exciting start to the year. We're only 9 days in, but our winter session of our debt destruction class starts soon, and we're doing it in partnership with a university from Ontario in order to study and understand a little bit better people's relationships with money and how they interact with it. So we're very, very excited about that because I'm super passionate about helping people learn how to be consumer debt free and what I can bring to you. It was really special. Actually, we wrapped up our fall session right as we went into Christmas. So it was nice to kind of see everybody from the class going into Christmas, not worrying about going further into debt, that they had paid cash. And that was really fun, but very excited for the winter session because by partnering with the university, we get funding, which is so exciting. I've never had funding before for anything. So woo, for free money, kind of. We've jumped through a lot of hoops for that. So it's really exciting because what it means is we have room for 60 Canadian families to come through the winter session of debt destruction. And what it is it's a 5-month program. There's one session per month with some homework in between, but we talk about like learning about your credit score, how to make a budget, why we don't want you to feel nauseous when we say the word budget, how to communicate with your partner about money, doing cash flow plans, snowballing your debt, all sorts of Dave Ramsey fun things because I love Dave Ramsey. And I think he's got some pretty good stuff. So we spend pretty much 5 months trying to conquer your relationship with money and get you well on your way to being consumer debt free. So we're really excited. We've had a really good response. We've got families pretty much from one end of the country to the other that are signing up already. A few who've gotten some cold feet. So we're hoping that they don't quit before they start because it's big and it's intimidating, and it's applying to the course is probably one of the hardest things you do because when you click the button, you're basically saying, hey, I have some debt. And it's not easy to admit that sometimes. It's kind of like just walking out your front door topless randomly. It's not something you would typically do, right? So there's no shame to be had, though. Everyone who comes through the class has some debt, anywhere from $5,000 to $150,000. Like everybody's threshold is a little bit different on what they feel good about and what stresses them out. So we're super excited. We had some planning sessions earlier this week to go through and come up with some really cool, maybe cool is not the right word, really geeky and exciting exercises. Hey, we did a credit report exercise in the fall, and I promise you, everyone in the class smiled at least once. And I don't know if it was because they were laughing inside that Angie and I were so excited, or if they legitimately found it fun, but they were smiling. So I'm going to take that as like, we even made credit reports fun.
Totally.
That's nearly impossible, right?
That's so exciting. I know, like, seriously, you guys, Jen makes, like, you talk about money and you can just see her entire being light up. It's so amazing. So, Jen, do you still have room in the debt destruction, it's called, right? Do you still have room?
Yes. So I had posted something thinking like, oh, New Year's resolution, people will jump on board. Posted it, went to bed, and we blew through the amount of families we can accept while I was sleeping. So that was kind of cool. And then, but like I had mentioned, a few people got cold feet. So we went from no room to a little bit of space again. So we do, we're spreading out the funding as far as we can reach with anybody who's applying. And then just kind of going from there. So yes, I do still have a little bit of room. You go on our website, financialfundamentals.ca, and you click on the little tab that says research project. It tells you what you can expect in that program and what the involvement is with the study. And then there's an apply here button, and it sends out your information. And we have a online information session at the end of the month with the university on as well, for anybody who has questions about, okay, well, what are you doing with my information and where's it going and who will be able to identify me, which, spoiler alert, nobody. By the time it gets published, you'll not be Bailey Eats, you'll be like participant 1.23. Like it's so, but it's important. It's really personal information. We take that super seriously. So we'll be making sure everybody has their questions and concerns taken care of before they're required to share anything.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to I'll grab the information, like the detailed information from you, and then I'll put it in the link below so that if people want to register still they can. So when does it actually start?
So our information session is Tuesday, January 30th. And our unofficial start date that I will be confirming later this week is Saturday, February 24th.
Okay.
And then from there, we're off to the races, getting debt gone. Oh, it was so good. Last session, we were 77 days, 11 families, and over $70,000 or $60,000 worth paid off. So it was good. There was lots of like credit card carnage all over the place.
Cutting them up. So question,
yeah.
what is your favorite moment of doing what you do? Like that moment that you're like, this is why I do this. Tell me a story about one of your favorite moments.
Two things, and it happened for a few people, but I was emailed over the Christmas break about how not only like were they able to pay for Christmas with cash and not have to worry about the stress, but that this woman and her husband were now able to like talk about money without it turning into like this all-out brawl or just avoiding the subject. And that like she said something about like, you may have saved our marriage or like something, which I like that I'm not being like, woo, saving marriages. That's on them, right? Like that was totally them. But it was really special to hear that some of the tools that they took away from the class got them to a place where they could talk about it, because money's hard, or can be, and communicating about it is key. And when stuff like that happens, like being able to communicate and having a better relationship, like that wasn't like we're just trying to pay off debt, right? But those kind of side effects, so to speak, those are the parts that mean the most. Like, yes, I'm watching your balance and I'm like, oh, what happened there? That card went up $3 or whatever, right? But it's the quality of your Christmas break, or the quality of your relationship with your partner, or the quality of the time you get to spend with your children because you didn't have to go in for overtime because your bills were paid. Like that's the stuff that really makes a difference. And I love it.
That's really cool. It's like you've just created a platform for them, and they can jump on and use that platform for good, right? And that's really, really cool that you're providing that for families all over Canada. Do you go in the States as well, or just Canada?
Just Canada for this winter session, just because it's like money's money, but there are like things that are slightly different between Canada and the US. So in terms of what we're doing for this particular research project, we're staying in Canada to do it. But we've got people from big cities and small towns and single parents and married people and divorced people, and just like lots, and like a big, huge, diverse group, like that are on all different stages of their life. So it's fun, and it's nice.
When they do the program, is it like a group program where they're interacting with each other, or what's the layout for it?
They get me and my co-facilitator, Angie. So we're going to provide you all the information and tools. Hopefully you're going to use them, because otherwise you're going to be wasting your time. So you get us, we'll give you weekly challenges, and then we hope you complete them and email us back about it. So the two of us are your people and your support system and your accountability throughout the whole program.
Very cool. That's awesome. So it's very personalized with you guys, and that's really neat.
Yeah, well, and we even have to, we make sure we do a one-on-one phone call with everybody who comes through the program, just because, when we're talking about this is how you make a budget, it is generally the same for all families, but that doesn't mean and in your case, you also have, elderly parents you're caring for. So let's factor that in, or one person's on commission, or, there's sometimes a couple little extra questions that come up that might need to be personalized for you. So we do that too.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing. Well, thank you so much for popping on with me. I don't want to make this uber long, because usually it's, moms and dads that are watching, and we just have certain amounts of time. So thank you so much, Jenn. And I hope that some of the people who watch this are able to get in the program, because I personally followed Dave Ramsey's techniques as well. And I actually just told Jenn before this call that we are officially consumer debt free. I think we had a little tear and we moved on. So, they work. The techniques work. And what better?
Michelle even made me this. So Dave Ramsey's happy for you too.
Of course you have that. I don't know why you wouldn't have that.
Anyways, on that note, thank you so much.
All right, goodbye.